Hello Gemini, kia ora koutou katoa, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And yeah, thank you for watching the videos and subscribing and liking them subscribing them to the channel on here on YouTube, and also to those of you who have liked and followed me on my Facebook page. So I encourage you to, if you want to, of course, to connect with both platforms, because obviously I'm not going to be able to post certain things up on here, and it's more, for Facebook. So yeah, then you can catch up on any updates and with different courses and things that I'm doing and where I'm going to be in the country, and offering readings or healings or whatever. So anyway, I am based in New Zealand, and I know I have a lot of overseas people that are connecting in with these videos, so welcome to a smidgen of New Zealand here. So anyway, so thank you anyway. So I just want to also encourage you to leave a comment or a thumbs up or something anyway, as well, and it just all helps in the movement of my channel to get the messages out there to a wider group of people as well, who may be, it may be helpful for them as well. So anyway, now where am I going? Okay. Also, I just want to remind everybody that these reads, the messages that come through are general, so they may or may not resonate with you. If they do, wonderful. If they don't, then check out one of your other signs. And if you don't know what your other signs are, there is a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that is that has a free calculator, and it will help you. It will work it out for you. Okay, so don't freak out if you don't know your birth date, time. Your birth time, so you don't necessarily need it. Okay, and it will explain it all there. So the other thing is, oh gosh, I've just gone blank. They've got me staring out in the wander. So you may be staring out into Never Neverland, and looking forward into the future, because you've moved through some things, emotionally, even physically. It's helped, there's some stuff you've been working through, and that's pretty cool. So, oh yeah, the other thing is, I was just going to say, so these reads are for Gemini. If you're watching for Gemini, and who is in your, or which is in your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus sign. Okay, so today is, it's 11:11 right now. I'm just looking at the clock on my laptop. Today is the 7th of September 2020, and it's a Monday here in New Zealand. So, and yeah, the energy is very new because we've just come into spring. So there's a lot of blossoms around, and there's a lot of bird life chirping differently now, I've noticed. So you may be noticing that for yourselves in New Zealand, and your energy shift as well. So, which is pretty cool. So now I actually am using the deck. I'm going to be using, well, possibly my Sacred Earth Oracle deck. I'm not sure whether we're going to use that or not. It's there anyway. And I have a new tarot deck as well. It's the Starman one. It's the Starman Tarot, and it's interesting because I'm just really drawn to it. So I've given them a bit of a clearing and a cleansing, and I was wanting to not use them but use them. So anyway, what's come out is the Ten of Swords first up for that, and I've used these cards. So these ones, they have a slightly different meaning but very similar, and I've been studying them over the last couple of days. So I've decided to use them and have a wee read about the explanation in this book before I go. So the Ten of Swords, and I suppose most of you will understand that, or realise that by now with me, the 10 is something that is coming to the end or a completion. So it's like for this one with the Ten of Swords, and I love the artistry on here, and actually the artist is David DeAngelis, who inspired by the artworks he created for David Bowie. So hence the Starman, and I just love David Bowie. So, and of course a lot of us, myself included, are working with the galactic energy. So there seems to be a lot of this in the this energy. So something's coming around, or coming to an end, and opening up a new beginning in the way that you're thinking or doing things at the moment. So, And it's like you're letting go of an old part of you. See in the picture there, it's like there's the shadow part and the light part. It's like you've come to some sort of realization that, you know, that it's time to start anew. So there's some new beginnings in that, because you're letting go of some of the old parts of you, because you've done some work on yourself. And the thing is, the interesting thing is the Nine of Swords has come away. So this, the 9 is, you know, is about the an end of a completion of a cycle. Something is coming to an end. And then we have the 10 here, which is, you know, leading the way here today. That something has come to an end, and it's like it's like you had that aha moment, and that you've been maybe resisting for a while, and this is showing that you have been resisting something, Gemini. So it's like, and it's like you found that aha moment now, and it's like, okay, yeah, and you realize that it's time to release it. Okay, there will be a few other things that are coming up that may be there, so as well. So don't, but there is something that in particular that's this, whatever it is now, is setting the way. It's like now it's like it's I want to say core of something, but it is the core of something, but not the core of the lot. But it's the trickle. It's the thing that opens up everything. When you pull out this part, the core of this, whatever it is that you're working, it's like it sets everything else in motion, where you start to see other bits and pieces coming up. And it's like, and this is where the Prince of Wands comes in here. And he's like, you know, helping with the energy of getting something going, like taking action with something, with whatever it is, and allowing yourself to move forward. Because then we have the 7 of Wands. It's like something that you've wanted that somebody else has got, or it's something that you've wanted is, you know, you're releasing all that in the sense of control. And, you know, sometimes, you know how you beat yourself up, you go really deep, and it's like deep within, and it's like we put up, especially when we're resisting, it's like, this one here they're talking about, it's like time to cut free of that, okay? Of wanting what somebody else is wanting, or somebody else has got, that it may not necessarily be for you. So this is kind of like they're talking about, like it's time to shift and move, leave that go, let that go. So this Prince of Wands is coming here with this energy, in action to, like, you know, in his athletic form, but in his strong, encouraging, and strong form, but in this courage, and I'm hearing excitement with him as well, and moving forward, because he's seen the epiphany, and now it's like, okay, I'm ready to move. So he's got his wands there, his energy. And what's interesting is, like, see with the eye, there's some flames, or the look, there's something looking at this, like clearing the way from what he sees, and that is blocking the way. But it's like, it's our stuff, of course. So, and then we have the 7 of Swords, like following that, because that's what he's working with you with, and that's what it's like the energy is like for you to work through, is what is holding, you know, what is it that you may be wanting or desiring that isn't, you know, maybe it's not necessarily for you. And it's kind of like this. So there's something about, you know, allowing that to be, because it's like, this is about you walking your own path. And yes, we learn about, we learn this and this and that, and from this person, that really, and whatever it is, but it's not, it's kind of finding your own niche, whatever that is, whatever is going on for you. So they're taking the Spirit of taking this, or Gemini and Spirit are taking us on a different journey this week. So they're going a lot more inward, okay, which is where the main work happens, and for us to do it. So there's something about letting go and freeing yourself from restraint, okay? And going back to this one here, the 7 of Swords, it's not, it's like who you thought you were is not who you were, which goes back to this as well. It's like something opens up, and it's like, and this, the Prince of Wands here is, it's like bringing that energy out, because it's like you're discovering something new about yourself, and it no longer serves you any purpose for your highest good. So this is like evolvement, which is like where this 10 of Swords is. It's like there's a new beginning in that sense, like evolving in what you do now, because it's the Swords is in how you're thinking about things. So it's like not letting, because we're all here. This is all us. Oh, because I'm a Gemini too, by the way, if you don't know. So it's like this is all us. All the air signs are out. So it's really talking about, and there's some action that's in between there to get going on whatever it is, because could quite easily talk ourselves out of shit, and good shit and not so good shit, so it's kind of like you're going in there, and then the Swords, so it's like there is definitely something with the Eight of Swords is like freeing yourself from restraint of others, but more so the restraint of ourselves, of our mind that thinks that it's others that is holding us back, but it's not, it's ourselves, because of what you're seeing or what you're seeing there. Okay, so anyway, these are beautiful cards. So that seems to be the running theme at the moment, because those are the first cards out, and I was so drawn to be wanting to use them today. So so thank you, David Bowie, and the artist there, David D'Angelo, so coming through there. Okay, and then we're going back to my trusty tarot deck here now, which is this one here. And the Three of Cups, celebration comes up as well. So there's something, you're celebrating with, whatever it is that you've overcome or you've figured out for yourself. It's really, and I feel like Spirit is saying, Gemini is saying, it's really important that you do that and acknowledge that achievement, and through some sort of some sort of achievement there, whatever it is, it's really important to acknowledge it. Okay, cool. I'm just saying that again, because often Gemini is saying, the energy of Gemini and Spirit is saying you don't really celebrate it, and you may go, oh yeah, acknowledge it, but and then you go along and put yourself down, or oh yeah, but, and that's typical, but it's like, oh yeah, but and I think that is quite typical of most of us, or a lot of us Geminis, playing it down a bit. But actually, and I feel like deep down there's a big there's actually more of an achievement than that you're thinking and you're feeling about. It's actually, you're pretty chuffed that you've actually figured that out, and it's like, wow. I feel like for some of you it's like almost like earth shattering, and some of you it's just like blowing you away with the wind, and it's just this beautiful, amazing feeling that the fairies have taken you away on a ride, or it's just, I can't describe it, but I feel like you'll know what I mean, and it's like this amazing aha moment. Beautiful comes through, and it's like some of you, you may be good to have someone around to help you with that. Oh gosh, now we got the cups again. So Nine of Cups. So there's something, it's like all your senses are opened up from this whole experience that you've or this healing process that you've been through. All of your senses open up, everything, because there's the Nine of Cups there, and and that's what it is about, the sensual satisfaction, and that's about not all your senses opening up, basically. That's all I keep saying. Okay, that's all there is. And then and once we do that, with that Spirit of talking about, you start to like look at, for some of us or some of you out there, it's like, okay, because what they're showing me is like some of them, the pennies might not have been raining down. This is like the vision that they're showing me. Might not have been raining down in abundance, and you may have found yourself juggling finances and stuff like that, money and also energy with that. But in the background, they're drawing me to the ships in the background, because in this time and era, like the depicted in these this set of tarot cards, is like ships were denoted as or still are as a or seen as, where they go, is abundance, okay, or prosperity in the background. So if one had a ship, one was quite wealthy. So they're kind of like looking at that in that way, not kind of, they are. So if you can kind of like look at it that way, that something is happening. So, but there is some, there is some change in versatility that I feel like you've gone through, but and there's maybe a little bit there, but things are turning around, because it's like you're starting to understand it and come out of this place of the Five of Pentacles here, of that feeling of, you know, loss of wealth and faith, okay, there. So there seems all faith with the Pentacles. So, and, you know, it's been, you know, for a lot of us, it's been, you know, people, it's been a bit of a juggling act with money, but I feel like things are starting to turn around because of the way, because this is about, you know, opening up, you know, the thing, going back to these cards here, this is about clearing the way to open up the world of manifestation, which is what you've been, you know, working with. And Spirit are just saying, you know, you've worked really hard, and it's like you're starting to see some results, and relax with the thing about finances, or, you know, or money, or career, or where are they going? Material possessions and work, or business, or whatever. There's something like, it's like it's had to be like this for a period of time, so you get it. So you know, you become more knowing as to who you are, because who you thought you were is not who you are. You are more than that. That's just one part of you. Does that make sense? So there's something about it, it's like, oh yeah, I get that now. And it's like, but I feel like it's not just an, oh yeah, it's like, oh. So, you know, okay. And it's like, you've not seen it like that before, or you've not wanted to see it like that before. But it's like there's something really, really moving. Okay. Now I've got 6 cards that come out all together, and I'm going to take them because there's a little bit of a story. So there's a welcome change with the Knight of Swords that might be a little bit disruptive, okay, with what's coming up. So I feel like that's a bit like the Prince of Wands in a way. He's helping this energy. It's in the way that you're thinking, okay? So which is what they're talking about. So this Knight of Swords that leads the way on that one, okay, with this group of cards. So there's something that will come to mind, and the aha thought, it's going to shift you. And I feel like you'll just want to shift. It'll be like a natural progression, but you just kind of like needed that little bit more, of proof, and or that little bit more, you know, evidence. And it's just that one more last sign or something, just to like, okay, to seal the deal. And it's like, then you can move. So the Star is about hope and inspiration, okay? And it's obviously, you know, it's like keeping up that you know, that something good is coming, okay? Keep putting it out there. Keep living it, breathing it, and, you know, using the hope, the star, because that's the star energy to, in your heart, in all your chakras, actually, what they're showing me is like plant a star in there. It's like with that hope and inspiration, all of your chakras, and use that as a healing tool. Oh, I can feel it, beautiful. And, you know, hope and inspiration, because wherever that you're feeling it, yeah, okay, I'm hearing like anchor that there, the star, which is hope and inspiration. Okay, cool. Because like what they're saying, talking here, is the Four of Wands, a time to you know, rewards. But there's something about, you know, that some energy that's that you're moving towards. It's like creating it, but staying in that, you know, in that place of what it is that you're wanting to manifest or bring into your life, bring to fruition, and so much more. Okay, so because there will be, and it's like celebrating, like, because I'm just saying there will be a, you know, a time when you're going to, you will, you know, need to like really fully back yourself and know and acknowledge your okay, and acknowledge your successes, no matter how big or small they are. Okay, and the rewards may not be as big as you're wanting them to be, but it's a reward. Okay, so then they have the sacrifice of choice with the Hanged Man. It's like, I feel like when they sacrifice it, maybe that you're making a decision, and it's like, but it's, people aren't really going to understand where you're coming from, that because you see things from a different point of view. And so this is where they're going with, you know, before what was set up there, that there's these changes, and it's like you're going to see things and do things, and it's going to make you want to like to move really quite quickly. But it's about letting yourself, freeing yourself from the restrictions of ourselves, and not allowing others to put any restrictions upon us, because that's when we like hold ourselves in and explore. We, you know, it's because they're talking about exploring basically. And then we have the love of luxury with the Queen of Pentacles. So it's about working your way towards what you want, which is manifesting, you know, what it is, what you desire, okay? And it's what you, if you're going to say want, it's making sure that you're saying what you want from a desire point of energy behind it, rather than a lack. So it's like you're not wanting of something, you know, like from a lack point of view, okay? You're wanting something because you desire it, and it's in a manifestation sort of a way, or a law of attraction way, okay? So that's what she's there for. And then we have the Strength card with the Lion here, and this beautiful female energy here who has her hand. So there's a lot of courage and strength in there. You know, it takes a lot of courage to put your hand in a lion's mouth and let alone open it. And it's like once you get going, you'll find, because she's opening the lion's mouth with ease, and probably because the lion is letting her helping her and letting her. So it's kind of like this, it's back to having that strength and the courage, but also the self-discipline to get yourself, to continue with this journey that you're on. So the self-discipline I'm hearing comes back to looking at yourself within, okay? And continuing the journey, not beating the shit out of yourself up, you know, beating the shit up out of yourself, but it's just like, you know what, it's taking a look at what is the big picture, and asking questions as well as like, to find out. Look in the dictionary if you don't know what a word means, is what I'm hearing for some, and just to break it down. Others, there's like a really like a looking within sort of energy. So I'm just going to choose a card out of here. So just shape shuffle it that way. See what comes out. There we go. 2 cards come out. So motion. So motion is like getting things in motion. Keep the motion. And I'm hearing like momentum as well with that motion. So it's, you know, everything is in motion too. It's like, but we still have to keep going with the motion, okay, to keep that momentum going. So things, otherwise there come a halt, and it's like you halt and you might rest too long. So it's kind of like, yep, having a break, but not allowing yourself to rest too long, or within that rest time include some of that me time is just being mindful, okay, that you're not going to rest for too long. Expectations, okay, so it is about having expectations, putting them out there. So it, you know, like with everything, it's like it's about being mindful about what your expectations are about and what they're for, and what different circumstances. Yes, there is, you know, being mindful about what your expectations might be, and that sort of thing. But it is about having expectations as well. Especially like what you expect of yourself, and going in a, you know, of, but not necessarily always an outcome. You might have an expectation that the outcome might be of where you want that, what the outcome to be. But I think that's where they're going with it. But it's like, it doesn't, but having that open mind that it might not be exactly what we expect, okay? But it's still not, it's not dropping the 8 ball though. This is where I'm hearing it's like, it's about not dropping the 8 ball. And that's why they're talking about like, you know, like even though we have some time out with self-care and stuff like that, it's, and that's fine, that's all good doing that, but it's making sure that we're not in that self-care space for too long, and having, otherwise, because they're talking about dropping the 8 ball, okay? So it's kind of have a plan, okay? What's your plan, or you know, or your goal, or a vision, something like that, just to keep you in momentum, because things are moving, okay? And I feel like you get that feeling that, you know, things are moving. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. So it's kind of like you're thinking bigger outside of the picture, outside of the picture that you may have. And if it is a big picture, then think bigger again, okay? There's something that's really evolving. So it's like Spirit are teaching us to evolve a lot quicker and not go in our heads too much and allow ourselves, because it's all there. It's all there for all of us, no matter what sign we are, but and depending on where we are in our lives. Anyway, so something is definitely moving. So I'm going to leave that there with you, with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, and adventure. Also in prosperity with abundance from my spiritual team, the Zion Energy, and the amazing energy of Gemini. So just one last thing, if you're wanting to book a reading or a healing session with me, just to help you shift and to click into whatever it is that you're moving through a little bit more, and maybe get a little bit more in-depth information with that. But also, you know, if you, or reading as well for the same reason. There you go. Anyway, lots of love, and we'll see you next week. Okay, bye for now.